Hello and welcome to a new episode of the eNews Cycle. I hope everyone had a great Halloween. If you're new to my channel, these are my monthly recap videos where I go over the prior month's PEV and e-bike general news and new releases. October felt like a really slow month, but as I was putting together all the new releases for the month, I realized that there was a ton of interesting new bikes and PEVs that came out in October. There's not a lot of industry news, which I thought was odd because they had a big Micro Mobility America. But like I said, there was a lot of new model announcements. So let's jump into that and see what we got in October. For years, the best bang for your buck crown value leader has been firmly on the place on the head of electric e-bikes. From the original XP to the XP 2.0 and the current XP 3.0 model, Lectric mostly stood alone as the best option for a decent e-bike under $1,000. That is until Ride One Up announced the Portola. Portola. The Portola is a sub $1,000 folding e-bike that is packed with all the same standard features that an e-bike should come with, so no corners were cut in order to get the price low. It comes exclusively in a step-through frame with 20 by 3 inch tires, fenders, integrated rear rack, and they say that the rear rack can carry up to 130 pounds. The components that it comes with is your standard 750 watt motor. They don't say the peak wattage that it comes with, but given that the controller is 20 amp controller, I imagine it should peak around 1000 watts. It comes with two battery options, a smaller 48 volt 10.4 amp hour option, a larger 13.4 amp hour version for just a bit more money, as well as hydraulic disc brakes. And because it's foldable, you probably want it to be light. Ride One Up says that it weighs just at 59 pounds. It looks like a really great bike. The only weak point I would say is looks like the display is a little bit small. Some people like a big large display like you get on the XPs, but this one is a little bit smaller on the left hand side. Otherwise, it matches up pretty evenly with the XP. A little bit lighter, a little bit more base wattage. The nominal motor wattage is a little bit better on the Portola. If I was in the market for an inexpensive folding e-bike, it would be a tough choice between the two of them. I'll have a link in the description down below if you want to check out this new bike. If you're looking to purchase an XP 3.0 for this holiday season, you might want to check out the Portola, the Ride One Up, and see if that one is piques your interest instead. Speaking of Lectric announced their new release for the month of October. Anytime that Lectric makes new announcements, it makes big waves in the market. For years, Lectric was pretty much known for their affordable folding e-bikes, from the original XP to the 3.0. In 2022, they came out with a foldable light e-bike model, which was a lighter, more portable version of their XP 2.0. And they also released the X Premium, which was marketed as a higher-end dual battery mid-drive foldable e-bike. In 2023, it looks like they were fleshing out their entire lineup with more niche models, such as the three-wheeled XP Trike, as well as a long-tailed cargo e-bike, the X Premium, all the while keeping them somewhat foldable even on the larger models. And now it seems like the Lectric's plans to flesh out all their models is complete.
The circle is now complete.
They're covering all their bases and have announced the pre-order for the Rad Rover / Adventon styled kind of e-bike, the Xpeak. The Xpeak is a more traditional 26 by 4 inch fat tire mountain bike styled e-bike, which makes sense because most of the time when you think of an e-bike, you think of the 26 inch fat tire e-bike like a Rad Rover. The Xpeak will be available as a step over or a step through frame, and it looks like it'll be coming with your standard 750 watt motor that lists to peak about 1300 watts. Lectric specifies that motor is a Stealth M24 technology that's 400% quieter than your standard hub motor. 48 volt, 14 amp hour integrated battery, which is UL compliant, hydraulic disc brakes, matching up with the specs from, like I said, the Rad Rover 6, the Invention Adventure 2. It lines up pretty evenly with all those models. If you pre-order right now, you can get a special deal going on where you get a front rack, rear rack, fenders, headlight, bike block, large basket, and a small basket. So $450 worth of stuff, the Lectric says. So pretty good deal. If you're in the market for a standard 26 inch fat tire e-bike, Lectric has been killing it with their folding models, so I imagine this one will be just as good. Coming hot off the news of their massive recall last month, Onewheel has announced their latest balance board, the GT-S series, which was designed for performance in mind. This new GT-S series comes with an increased battery voltage, which will get you up to 25 miles per hour. The company doesn't provide a lot of official stats on their boards, so hard to get a good idea exact numbers. But based on the S series reduced range, weight, and reduced charge time, all these point to like a smaller available battery bank. The one main complaint I'm seeing a lot of people talking about with the S series is the price. It's $3,200, which is $900 more than their base model GT. And like I said, since they don't provide a lot of stats, it's hard to point to like numbers wise and see why this gives you an extra $900 worth of value. It seems like Onewheel typically has large price jumps for each performance level. For reference, the TeknoAXE model is priced at $1,500, which is $800 less than the regular GT, and the regular Pint model is $450 less than the TeknoAXE. But Onewheel has a diehard community, so if you're looking for a really great next level Onewheel experience, I think a lot of people are going to be picking it up. Go check it out, link in the description. This next release is for the ladies all out there, all two of you that watch my videos. The e-bike company Integral has announced plans to launch an e-bike specifically designed for women riders in mind, which is a great idea. I know a lot of women out there struggle to find an e-bike that fits their height. For example, my wife isn't comfortable with any of my e-bikes since her feet aren't able to fit flat on the ground. However, I'm a bit confused by the features that they point to and say that are designed to fit women better. Their new model that they're calling the Maven looks to be your typical cargo e-bike that they say has a lower center of gravity since it has 20 by 3 inch wheels. Although most cargo e-bikes these days come with 20 inch wheels. The photo that they compare the rear rack heights seems disingenuous since the bike that they are matching up against looks to be an older 2019 version of the Radwagon 3, which still used 26 inch wheels before Rad switched them over to their 22 inch wheels, which was 3 years ago now. So they're seemingly comparing it to a cargo e-bike that you can't even buy brand new anymore instead of an actual competitor like Aventon Abound or the Lectric Expedition. Speaking of which, the Maven kind of looks very similar to the Expedition. If I saw one of these on the road and wasn't paying attention, I'd assume it was the electric model. Other than tires in the frame, it looks like the Maven comes with a 750 watt motor, 2 batteries, they don't say how big they are, up to 80 miles of range, hydraulic brakes, a dual crown suspension fork, as well as suspension seat post, so it should be a fairly smooth ride, and has a recommended rider height of 5 foot all the way up to 6'7". The list price that they're showing for this Kickstarter was $19.99. Which isn't too bad for the specs, but this may be just an introductory price, which might be going up in the future, so keep that in mind. Nonetheless, they list a possible release date around February 2024. I'll leave links to the product page and also the Kickstarter down in the description of this video if you want to check it out. Do you ever get deja vu? That eerie feeling that you've been somewhere or seen something before? Oddly enough, I got that feeling when I saw the new Hemiway model that they're releasing, the Hemiway C1. Hemiway's all-new e-bike design for kids between the ages of 4 and 12. The C1 is a balance bike, so it doesn't have pedals, but it looks a lot like the Super 73 K1D. That's probably where I'm getting that deja vu feeling. But it does come with a rear hub motor, a single hydraulic disc brake, 16-inch tires, long moto-styled saddle, a battery tucked underneath the seat, and a racing-style design. Even the model numbers are similar with the Hemiway C1 and the Super 73 K1D. But they say imitation is the highest form of flattery, so Super 73 should be happy then, right? Joking aside, I'll give Hemiway the benefit of the doubt since it may be a coincidence that they just look very similar, especially given the long development cycles that most e-bikes have, so it could be in development for years before Super 73 even announced theirs, which I believe was last year when they announced the K1D. But other than that, the C1 comes with a 350 watt motor, 360 watt hours battery, total range of about 24 miles, hydraulic disc brakes, just a single brake on there, top speed of 15 miles per hour, a payload of 165 pounds, so a pretty big kid there, total weight of 32 pounds, and it's made for ages 4 to 12. Comparing that to the K1D, the K1D has a little bit better motor on there, but a smaller battery. They're about even as far as like the stats go, a little bit lighter on the K1D, probably because of the smaller battery, and it looks like the K1D has regen braking, which is kind of nice, but in most experiences, regen braking doesn't really matter much. But if you have the extra cash and you want to give your kids something that they're probably going to love for at least a couple years, go out and check the Hemiway C1. Another cargo e-bike that was released in October was from Admotor, one of the strangest names that I've come across in a while. I reached out to Admotor and they say it's pronounced Grayo Pro. What? The Grayo Pro cargo e-bike from Admotor. Other than the weird name, it seems to be a solid cargo e-bike with a 750 watt motor that peaks around 1,000 watts, a choice of a single or dual 48 volt 20 amp hour battery. It's a slight mullet style tire setup with a 24-inch tire on the front and 20-inch on the rear. The range seems pretty overinflated though. Admotor says that it's capable of anywhere from 105 plus miles for the single battery up to 210 miles for the dual battery, which is a bit much for that kind of battery size. The price on the single battery is not too bad, $19.99, but the price on the dual battery is a bit up there, $26.89. But if you want to check it out, the Grayo Pro. Check it out, link in the description. Another folding e-bike released in October is the Heybike Mars 2.0. Overall design and look hasn't changed much, except for the bike's rear rack and the bike's electronic components have seen a refresh. The Heybike has thrown a 750 watt motor on there with a 1200 watts of peak power versus the 500 watt motor on the original. And the bike's top speed has been increased to 28 miles per hour versus 20 miles per hour. But other than that, they have the same battery, same drivetrain, tires, overall frame design. The 2.0 is coming in just a little bit heavier at 75 pounds, 9 pounds heavier than the original. In my opinion, is a little bit heavy for a folding e-bike. In comparison, the Lectric Xpeak is 64 pounds, and the Ride One Up I was talking about earlier is only 59 pounds, which even maybe some people might think those are too heavy, but the Mars 2.0 is at 75 pounds. It's a bit much, but it's not a bad deal. The Mars 2.0 is only $11.99 right now, current listed on sale. You want a different option than what the Lectric or the Ride One Up was giving you, then if you don't mind the added weight, check it out, link in the description. Back in September, there was a release that I missed, so we'll do our Things That I Missed segment.
La 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 la, things I missed.
Missed it by that much.
La 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 la.
This new model was a new e-scooter released by Honda called the Motocompacto. I love that name. It looks like what you would imagine a kindergarten age transformer would look like. The Motocompacto folds down to a large briefcase-sized box to store in your trunk, and then kind of just take it out for use for inner city travel. It looks really well designed and sleek, which I would expect from an automobile manufacturer. It has a top speed of 15 miles per hour, a total weight of 41 pounds, a cargo capacity of 265 pounds, and a max range of about 12 miles. The only problem is the price. It's a bit expensive at $9.95. If you match this up to something like the Jetson Bolt Pro version, matches pretty evenly as far as the stats go, but the Bolt is only about $400 right now on sale last time I checked. And also the Jetson has the advantage of pedals, which in case you run out of battery and you need to pedal back to your car or to your apartment. But regardless, I think the people that are in the market for this Motocompacto really wouldn't care about the price, and it looks really cool. And honestly, when I've seen somebody ride the Jetson, it looks like a toy. Then again, this Honda looks like you'd be riding a suitcase. But regardless, check it out if you're looking for a stylish kind of e-scooter that you can throw in the back of your Honda. But those are the new releases that I wanted to go over for the month of October. Like I said, there was a lot of new releases. I didn't want to give too much to you and bore you. If I missed something that you were interested in, I do apologize. Let me know. But otherwise, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to get more of my videos sent your way. But other than that, I hope that you enjoyed it. I'll catch you next month for when I go over November's releases, and I hope that you keep riding. Another folding e-bike released in March. Why did I say March?